So you're thinking about a career as a leather goods machine operator.
That's awesome.
It's like this perfect blend of industrial, precision and that hands-on craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Using some pretty cool machines to make everything from luggage to handbags,
Right.
saddles,
Yeah.
you name it.
You name it.
We've got a ton of resources here, from RoleCatcher, from career guides to interview prep,
Right.
that are going to help you nail that interview and get you stitching your path to success.
I love it. It's fascinating how this career, it really does blend the feel of, traditional leatherwork with all the efficiency of modern machinery.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We often picture like artisans hand stitching, but there's this whole other world of, specialized machines that make those high quality leather goods possible, but on like a much larger scale.
Exactly. And that's where you come in.
Exact.
But before we jump into acing those interview questions, let's set the scene a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
Imagine this.
Okay.
You walk onto the factory floor.
Yeah.
The air is buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
You've got your cutting machines just slicing through leather.
It's a symphony of sounds in there.
It is. It is.
It really is.
You've got sewing machines like humming as they stitch pieces together. And then those finishing machines adding those like final touches that really make each product pop.
It's amazing. Yeah. The transformation from like raw material to finished good is
pretty cool.
Really something to see.
And you're part of that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not just about operating the machines either.
Oh.
Think about the routine maintenance.
Okay.
Keeping them in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting any hiccups,
Yeah.
That's all part of the job.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide actually highlights that a lot.
Does it?
It's clear that employers, they really value someone who can keep those machines humming.
It's like you're a well-oiled machine yourself. That's right, exactly.
Okay, so that's the day-to-day. But what about the bigger picture? What are some of the pros and cons of this kind of gig?
Well, job stability isn't major plus. I mean, people are always going to need bags.
True.
Belts, wallets.
Right.
Leather goods are pretty timeless.
They are.
And plus you develop these really valuable, like, in-demand skills.
Okay.
On the flip side, the work can be physically demanding.
Okay.
You're on your feet a lot.
Right.
Handling materials.
Makes sense.
Dealing with the noise and the pace of a factory setting.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Exactly. But if you enjoy that kind of hands-on work, seeing a product like come to life, that satisfaction, this could be a really great fit.
Absolutely.
And that's where prepping for those interview questions comes in.
Okay.
Right. You gotta showcase those skills, that can-do attitude.
Right.
So you're ready to dive into some real-life interview scenarios. Let's do it. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So let's jump right into it with a question here from RoleCatcher's Guide.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your experience operating leather goods machines? All right, so that seems...
It seems pretty straightforward.
It does, yeah.
But it's like your opening shot. Right. You got to make a strong first impression.
Yeah, you don't want to fumble on this one?
What kind of answer would really knock their socks off here?
They're looking for more than just like a list of machines that you've like touched or seen,
Okay.
Think about like projects you've worked on.
Okay.
The complexity, the scale, anything that really demonstrates your ability
to handle it.
To do the job,
To do the job.
And be specific. Like, did you specialize in a particular type of machine or a certain product line?
Yeah.
Mention those things.
Showcase those skills.
Exactly.
RoleCatcher mentions this really cool thing where their AI can analyze job descriptions.
And actually point out skills that maybe you're not even thinking about.
That's huge.
And that you should be highlighting.
Especially because you might not even know, right?
Right.
What you should be highlighting.
Exactly.
And this AI is going to tell you.
So smart.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
How do you ensure the quality of leather goods produced by the machines you operate?
Right. So it sounds like they're looking for someone who's really detail-oriented here.
Right. Not just pushing buttons.
Right. Not just clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah.
This is about your process.
Okay.
Like, how do you actually make sure that what you're putting out is good quality?
Okay.
Do you have a system? Do you double-check your work?
Right.
Do you inspect the materials before they even touch the machine?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, share those insights.
Okay.
It shows you're invested in that final product.
Right. You're not just rushing through it.
Exactly.
You actually care. about what you're doing.
Exactly.
And this feels like a place where maybe an anecdote might come in handy.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Like, one time I noticed a tiny imperfection in this batch of leather.
Yes.
And because I caught it early.
Yes, you saved the day.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And that kind of story, it makes your answer memorable.
Okay.
It shows that commitment to quality.
Right.
And it highlights something that the RoleCatcher Guide really emphasizes.
Right.
A good machine operator really understands that quality is everyone's responsibility.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's not just like the QC team at the end. It starts with you.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, on to question 3.
Okay.
How do you maintain and repair leather goods machines?
Okay, so this is where
you get to show off all those skills.
this is where your inner mechanic
really
shines.
Yeah. So what do we say to this one?
Focus on those most common maintenance tasks.
Okay.
Like the cleaning, lubricating, replacing worn parts.
Okay, so the basics.
Yeah.
Keep them running.
Be specific. Don't just tell them what you do.
Oh, okay.
Show them, right.
Yeah.
I always make sure to, or my process for that is.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't just run the machine.
Right.
I practically wrote the manual on keeping this thing in tip-top shape.
Exactly. You're the go-to person.
Right.
For this machine.
And any relevant training or certifications?
Oh, absolutely. Now's the time to drop those.
Get that in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of keeping things running smoothly, question 4.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a technical issue with a leather goods machine?
Oh, yeah. So this is a classic.
They're really testing our problem-solving skills here.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, they want to know how you think.
Yeah.
When things go wrong.
Exactly.
So think of this as your opportunity to be the hero of the factory floor.
Okay.
Well, maybe not literally.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Okay.
Describe a specific issue clearly, like what went wrong, what was the impact, and then walk them through your process for diagnosing and fixing it.
Don't be afraid to get a little technical here.
Right? No, absolutely not, yeah.
Like, talk about the steps you took, the tools that you used.
Yes.
The logic that you apply.
Your thought process.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To get this thing up and running.
Right, and how you save the day.
Right.
But it's not just about the fix, right?
Okay.
It's about showing that you can stay calm, think critically, and find solutions even when you're under pressure.
I like that.
Yeah, and this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be so valuable.
Okay.
You can actually practice your answer and get specific pointers on how to make it even stronger.
Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, it really helps you kind of fine-tune those answers.
Okay, so it's like having a little interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly.
All right, question 5 throws us a bit of a curveball here. Can you explain the difference between different types of leather and their use in leather goods production?
Okay, so they're digging a little deeper here.
They want to know their stuff.
They want to see if you just like to push buttons.
Okay.
Or if you really understand, the materials,
Right.
Like the heart of what you're working with.
It's like they say, know your leather.
Know your leather, exactly.
I admit, I'd have to brush up on, my leather lingo for this one.
Yeah.
What are some key things to remember when you're answering this?
Don't panic. If you're not a leather expert, right? The point here is to show that you're aware of the nuances.
Okay.
You're not just treating every piece of leather the same.
Right.
The career guide actually touches on this. Different leathers, they have different qualities, right?
Makes sense.
You've got your full grain.
Okay.
Your top grain, corrected grain. Understanding those differences and how they actually affect the final product.
Okay.
That's key.
So maybe give a brief overview of those main types.
Exactly.
And then connect it to some actual products.
Yes.
Full grain leather is super durable, so it's great for high-end bags. Well,
exactly. You're demonstrating that knowledge.
Okay.
And you're linking it back to the work itself.
I like it.
It shows you're thinking about the bigger picture, right?
A bigger picture, yeah.
The material and the craft.
It all comes together.
It does.
I'm learning so much.
Me too.
Okay, next up, safety.
Okay.
They ask, how do you ensure safety protocols are followed while operating leather goods machines?
Super important.
This is huge.
Huge. In any kind of manufacturing environment.
Right.
You got to be safe.
Safety first.
Safety first, absolutely.
So how do we knock this one out of the park?
It's not enough to just, know the rules. You got to show them that you actually live by them.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So start by mentioning some specific protocols.
So the basics, like wearing your gear,
Yeah, wearing the protective gear.
Keeping your workspace tidy.
Absolutely.
So you don't trip over anything.
Exactly, yeah, to prevent those accidents, you know?
Right, right. So that's like safety 101.
Exactly.
But then go beyond that.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher was talking about how machine maintenance is a part of safety, too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about protecting yourself, but making sure that the machines themselves are in tip-top shape.
Right, you don't want any malfunctions.
Exactly.
Causing accidents, right.
Right.
Yeah, so you could even talk about being proactive.
Okay.
Noticing potential hazards.
Okay.
Speaking up if you see something that seems a little risky.
Right, right.
You know, promoting that safety-first culture.
Being a good team player.
Exactly. It shows you're taking responsibility for the whole workspace.
Making sure everyone goes home with all their fingers intact.
Exactly. All 10.
Okay, 2 more to go.
All right, let's do it.
Question 7. How do you prioritize and manage your workload when operating multiple leather goods machines simultaneously?
Oh my gosh. Now that sounds like a lot.
This sounds like my nightmare.
Yeah, multitasking mayhem.
Yes. I don't know how you folks do it.
Well, a skilled operator knows how to handle it.
Okay. Right.
This question is all about those organizational skills.
Okay.
Right? So how do you keep track of everything?
Okay.
Do you have a system?
Right.
A mental checklist? A schedule?
Right. All right.
A way to kind of like rotate between the machines.
So it's less about being superhuman and more about having a good process.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
right.
You can't have those processes in place.
So like when I'm managing multiple machines, my approach is.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
yeah.
don't be afraid to mention how you handle curveballs, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because things happen.
Right. What if a machine acts up?
Exactly. A rush order.
Oh, yeah.
You know, show them you can adapt.
Right.
Prioritize and communicate. Communicate effectively.
That's huge, being able to articulate your process
Yes.
in a clear, concise way.
Absolutely.
That's key in an interview.
Yeah, for sure.
And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can actually let you practice these kinds of questions
Oh, wow.
and give you feedback on how clearly you're explaining things.
That's incredible.
I know. Okay, last question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to meet production targets?
The classic.
The classic.
They always want to know.
They want to know if you can handle the heat.
Yeah, if you can handle the pressure.
Right.
For sure.
Can you keep it cool?
Yeah.
So what do we say to that?
Think back to a time where you had a real challenge at work.
Okay.
Maybe a tight deadline.
A demanding project.
Exactly. Something where you really had to, like, you know,
Push yourself.
push yourself. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like, this crazy dramatic story.
Right.
I pulled an all-nighter and single-handedly saved the factory from exploding, you know.
Although, you know, a little drama never hurts in an interview. But
It's true.
yeah.
But it's more about highlighting that problem-solving process.
Yes.
How did you stay calm? How did you stay focused under pressure?
Exactly.
What were the steps that you took?
Yeah.
And what was the outcome?
Right. Did you meet the deadline?
Did you learn a valuable lesson?
Exceed expectations.
Exactly.
It's all about showing that you can handle the heat
I like it.
and come out on top.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here.
We did.
We talked about the day-to-day of being a leather goods machine operator, how to ace those tough interview questions.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about the skills you need, you know, right now to really rock this job.
Right.
But what about the future? What skills do you think are going to be like super in demand
Oh, that's a great question.
for leather goods machine operators, like 5-10 years down the line?
Yeah, that's something that, like, I think the really forward-thinking employers are already kind of, like,
Thinking about.
thinking about. Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, automation is big, obviously.
Right.
We're seeing more and more advanced machinery.
So do I need to start learning to code in binary?
It's not quite sci-fi yet,
Okay.
but having those, like, basic tech skills
Okay.
is going to be more and more important.
Okay. That makes sense.
Think about it. Troubleshooting a complex machine involves a lot of the same logic as basic programming.
Interesting.
Understanding how these software interfaces work.
Okay.
Being comfortable adapting to new technologies, you know?
Right.
Those are the skills that are really going to set someone apart.
So you're not just operating the machine.
Right.
You're almost collaborating with it.
Exactly. And, you know, as the designs get more intricate, more customized, you know,
Yeah.
we're going to see more 3D printing, laser cutting on leather.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right.
It's like the future.
So those operators who really understand the technology,
Right.
who can be that bridge between the design and the production,
Yeah.
those are the ones that are going to be, you know, snapped up.
So it's this blend of traditional craftsmanship
Yes.
with cutting-edge tech skills.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it.
That's the future of leatherworking.
Your future is now.
It is.
Well, there you have it. A deep dive into the world of leather goods machine operation.
That's right.
Everything from, like, what you do day to day to how to ace those interview questions.
Sure.
To the skills that will set you apart both now and in the future.
And don't forget those resources like RoleCatcher.
Oh, yeah. They're there to support you.
Every step of the way, they've got your back.
From crafting the perfect resume
to nailing those interviews.
They've got you covered.
So embrace the challenge, put in the work.
Yeah.
And remember, your future is literally in your hands.
That's right.
Or, well, maybe your stitching needles.
There you go. Thanks for diving deep with us.